Harry Kane with 43 goals? This could be interesting. This is called the 433 Extreme Volts XVII. What is that? 17? From DeliciousStory, apparently. On the site I got this from, it does say that he tested with Liverpool, won the quadruple. Check on Discord. Apparently he has a Discord for even Delicious League runs. But he's got his win percentage at 51%, points per game 1.76. So he did okay, and I guess throughout the entire time he tested this, matches won 82, lost 43, and matches drawn 35. So overall, right off the bat, you got a nice win percentage with 51%, but still, that's a lot of losses, a lot of draws for a tactic that we're looking at Newcastle and Wolves in there, which are kind of mid-table teams depending on how the table runs. So, but take that as for what it's worth. But Delicious Story put a nice effort into showing all the information there. So check it out when you get a chance. But let's get into the tactic itself. But as you can see, it is a 4-3-3, sort of on the standard side. Sweeper keeper in defend, wingbacks on the left and right in support, ball playing defenders on the left and right, a ball winning midfielder in the central spot, segundo volantes in attack on the other sides, inside forwards in attack, and then an advanced forward in attack up front. Balanced mentality. In possession, attacking with his standard approach plays, pass into space, passing direction is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses, run at defense, and be more disciplined. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and roll it out. And then out of possession, a higher press line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and drop off more. As usual, how did this do with our three teams? Actually, not too bad. All three teams getting into Europe. Tottenham in third with 79 points, definitely above average. Wolves with 73 points, definitely above average. Newcastle 71, above average, but, not by a huge amount, I would say. But overall, all three teams in Europe is a fantastic start. Tottenham having a pretty good start to the season. One loss in August, one loss in September. One loss in October. But they continue on in everything they're doing. There's a lot of green. There's some yellows in there with some draws, but overall, they're doing fairly well. Continuing on in the second half, EFL Cup semifinals, 5-3 win over Man City, 0-3 loss away from home, and that sees you out of the EFL Cup. But continuing on in the Champions League, continuing on in the FA Cup, Champions League, you lose out to Liverpool. You draw away from home at Anfield 0-0, and then you lose at home 2-3. That's just a heartbreaker. But FA Cup semifinals, there you go. FA Cup final against Arsenal. You do win 2-0, a fantastic final, and you crush your London rivals. 2-0 is a very good result. Wolves having a much spottier time in August, but again, September, October, one loss apiece. You do kind of finish out the first half of the season. One of each. But you continue on. EFL Cup quarterfinals is where you lose it out to Man City 0-1. And then FA Cup fourth round to Tottenham 1-3. A great March. An okay April. You got some good times there for Wolves. And then Newcastle having a bit spotty of a time in August. Fantastic September 7-1 against Chelsea. That's a fantastic result. Not a great October, though. You do have some draws. You only have one loss, but still a lot of points missed right there. West Ham, Aston Villa could hopefully pick something up if you're in charge on your own. So with that, though, in August, you do lose out in the EFL Cup 0-1 right at the beginning against Leeds. And then FA Cup semifinal, there it is against Tottenham, of course, 1-2. And you finish out not too bad. Transfers, not a whole lot. Tapia comes in from Celta Vigo, 6.75. But Tony Weston, Pereira, and Livakovic come in as well. Wolves bringing in, is it Braganza from Sporting? 1.8? Newcastle definitely spending some money. Ronnie Edwards from Petersburg for 2.3. But Mohamed Kudus from Ajax for 60 million. Squad-wise for Tottenham, plenty to talk about. Look at all those greens. Plus, there's so many 6'2", and above. That's a lot of players right there. Wolves definitely not nearly as much, but still you got a couple in there. 6'3" for Traore. Newcastle about the same, although 6'19" looks to be the tops. Yeah. Tottenham's data hub looks fantastic. Shaky defensively, as you would expect, but very good in attack. Leading the league. It's wow. Those are some really high numbers in dribbles per game and cross completion. Looking fantastic as well. Wolves, very good defensively this time around, but even better in attack. You don't have quite the numbers that Tottenham has, but I mean, you're getting there. You've got well over, the Premier League average, which is nice to see. Newcastle, not too bad. Very good defensively, even better in attack, same as Wolves. You're missing out on the fouls against per game, but pretty much everything else on par with Wolves. So overall, for Premier League stats at least, most goals Tottenham with 91. Beating Liverpool, beating Manchester City, Wolves beating Manchester City as well. Newcastle just, right on par. So again, as usual, you see a very attacking tactic doing very well on the table for all three teams. Fewest shots against, you've got all three teams. Possession, not great. Dribbles, you've got, it's kind of funny how we're starting to switch now in the very dribbling tactics. You've got a lot of dribbles made per the games, and previously you had none. But a lot of these other numbers, best pass completion, you got from 89 to 86. So everyone's kind of in that mix. But most shots for Tottenham, of course, was 775, 658 for Wolves is second. Most points per game, as you'd expect. Haaland with 27 goals, Kane with 26. Very nicely done. Kulusevski with 13. You don't see him in the charts much. Everyone in the assists. Son, Porro, Trippier, Sarabia, Bentancur. So all doing very well attacking-wise. Harry Kane with 7 Player of the Match awards. Passing, no. Dribbles made, there you go. Semedo, Porro, and Nori, as you would expect this time around. Livakovic, Lloris, and Pope, all with the fewest conceded. Most shutouts with just Pope. But most tackles won. You got some defensive side there. Most key passes, again, Sarabia and Trippier are usually up there for the most part. 131 key passes for Sarabia. Son with 127. And then most shots. Isaac, Son, and Traore. And yes, Tottenham squad-wise for all competitions, Harry Kane with 43 goals. He did fine. 26 goals in the Premier League is a fantastic result. However, he really kicked it on in all the other competitions. Granted, he's got a lot more time in other competitions than Wolves and Newcastle do, but still. Son, 735 is fantastic with 30 assists. My God. 10 Player of the Match overall. And this is where we start to drop. Traore with 13 goals. It's not a great tally. It's a good tally, don't get me wrong, but compared to Harry Kane with 26, I don't know. Traore, though, with 733 highest average rating, 14 assists for Sarabia, and 6 Player of the Match awards for Traore. He did fairly well this season. And this is where you can really see it. Newcastle's Isaac, 16 goals, definitely on the low side for him. Trippier with 719 highest average rating. Oh, again, low. Trippier with 18 assists, though, that's pretty nice. And then Trippier and Pope with 5 Player of the Match awards. Again, low. But Newcastle still coming in, Europa spots, not doing all that badly. But Wolves and Tottenham where it shines, 79 to 73 points. And only 83 is the top to Man City. If you got a couple more wins in there, you definitely could have gotten to that point. Again, this is just a straight sim. If you take control and you're good with the shouts, you're good with the transfers, you're good with the tactical adjustments during a match, you might be able to get to that 83 points and beyond. But that is it for me, Seffian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.